What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Chance Bishop Show for episode 63 of our Madden 23 Philadelphia Eagles franchise mode here on YouTube. So Jordan Mailata, the Thunder from down under, we're going to lock him up to a 5-year extension right here. He cannot wait to be back in Philadelphia. He knows this is the hottest team to be a part of. Hey, I'm disappointed, coach. Last game we lost. I want to carry us to victory. I promise you, you get me involved. I'll make sure we win. For real though, let's challenge those D-backs in LA. Now, Devontae Smith wants 4 touchdowns or 200 yards rushing / receiving. All right, Devontae, a little lofty right there, but the Los Angeles Chargers, because in case you forgot, there are 2 Los Angeles teams. For some reason, going in this, I thought we were playing the Rams. The real Los Angeles. I don't know. None of them are real Los Angeles teams. If anything, it should have been like the Las Vegas Raiders, and then I don't know. We're just going through here. We're taking on the Chargers. Take a look at who's getting some bonus XP this week, just because they earned it. They deserve it. They're going for it. So you look if we have any injuries going into today's game. Injuries, it's a real shame when you do get injuries to key starters on any team. Defensively, offensively, it is a real shame. Mostly because it's, especially in key positions, it's how is your depth behind that player? Like if we have, Trayvon Diggs go down, and Darius Slay goes down. Well, who's behind those two? Is Avonte gonna be the one, or are we gonna put like Noah Daniels to be the one? It's kind of like one of those picks and choose kind of things. Offensive line, I've kind of, for this entire series, kind of just, focused on making sure that we've had offensive line depth, just to be sure that we have had, in case someone goes down, we've had quality backups. So, bringing in the Walker Littles, the Kenyon Greens, like bringing in all those guys. Those are all strategic, free agent signings, or we have, draft picks, for backup guys like Garrett Hayes, just guys who are coming in here to fill in, to be the next starter, to be the backup in case the starter goes down. Like, look at Kelvin Banks. Kelvin Banks Jr., we technically had a backup offensive tackle behind Lane Johnson, in Richmond, and, Philadelphia opted. Kelvin Banks here. No. This is a can't-miss prospect. We got to bring him into Philly. Frank Gore, you love him. The son of Eagles legend Frank Gore. It's good to see him just come out here and just be the best, running back he could possibly be. But taking a look here at the LA Stadium, it's a shared stadium between the Rams and the Chargers. Pretty sure it's the Rams Stadium, but then the Chargers rent it from the Rams, so it's a very strange circumstance going on right now. I don't really follow it. I don't know. I'm not a Chargers fan. I'm from Philly. So here we go. We're getting into this one. Chargers, Eagles, right after this introduction. The players are taking the field right now. Of course, Philadelphia, they're the best team in football right now. They're coming out to an onslaught of probably cheers, because Philadelphia Eagles fans, they travel very well. I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers, who are like a muddling kind of mid-tier team, I wouldn't be surprised if halfway through the game they've had to go to a silent count in their home stadium, just because Philadelphia fans are being that loud. Now, coming in here, taking a look, there you go. We had the D-tackles going up against the offensive linemen, working on pass rushing moves right there. Linebackers on linebackers. Edmonds kind of tutoring Jeremiah Trotter right there. You love to see that one. And there you go, the head coach of the Chargers, the head coach of the Eagles, and they're getting ready for this one. Now, Philadelphia getting ready to kick off, get this game underway. Philly looking to keep the good times rolling, especially after a not-so-great game the last time they went out. Now, for the Chargers, Jameis Winston has come here. He has taken over for, Justin Herbert. Herbert's now down there in Carolina. So, hey, one team got a starting QB, a franchise QB. This team, pissed away their second Drew Brees. 3rd and 7 for Winston and the Chargers. Now he's kind of rolling around the pocket. Throw is short. Apparently Slay tackles through number 14 right there. Missed tackle. And that's a first down right there. 3rd and 1 handoff. And that's just going to be a massive stop behind the line for Austin Eckler. Loss of 3 yards on the play. Jordan Davis sniffed it out real quick. Out comes Anthony Richardson and this Philly offense. Or Richardson on the season. Take a look at him. 1,800 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. So the touchdown-interception ratio, not quite where you want it to be. A little less than 2-1. I guess a little more than 2. No, a little less than 2-1. But Bijan starts this game off with a big first down run. 17 yards on the carry for Bijan Robinson, opening up a lot of field for that Philly offense. And allowing, starting QB to make some plays here. Play action. That's going to be jumped right there. That's going to be a pick. It's going to be a missed tackle. Missed tackle. Come on, offensive lineman. Pick 6. All right. Denzel Burke with the pick 6 right there. First drive for Philly. Not what you want. Philly regains the ball. 2nd and 10 from the 29-yard line. Underneath throw to Goddard. And Goddard going to get the first down. 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line. Come on. We have ourselves a sideline throw caught by A.J. Brown. There you go. Big pass for Richardson. 1st and 10 now. Come on. Get in the end zone. That's going to be underneath route to Devontae. Devontae foot race. Touchdown. Devontae Smith. You'll love to see that right there. So that's 1 of 4 touchdowns he needs. Underneath throw for Jameis. Jameis. Now 3rd and 11. He makes the underneath check down. And the receiver does the rest there. Shrugs off 2 tackles. That's Jackson Smith out of Ohio. 3rd and 2. They're trying to run it again. And Eckler stop short. Loss of yards. 5 carries. -6 yards on the game so far for Austin Eckler. So why don't we stop running on 3rd and short? 2nd and 7 underneath throw. That's going to be Grant Calcaterra. And he's going to be down. 2nd and 5 now. Here we go. Throwing wide open. Devontae. Devontae shrugs a tackle before being taken down at the 36-yard line. So Devontae Smith well on his way to 200 yards receiving. 3rd and 3 now. Here we go. Richardson steps up in the pocket and he finds Devontae Smith in the end zone. His 2nd touchdown of the half. 3rd and 6 right now. That's going to be a pass underneath. Slant caught, of course, by the Chargers, because why wouldn't they complete a slant play? 3rd and 15 now after a false start. Come on, pass rush. Get to famous Jameis. Nope, that's going to be broken up on 3rd and 15. Now the secondary does their job. 2nd and 10 now for Richardson, who flat-footed in the pocket. He's got himself Goddard, and Goddard's taken down at the 45-yard line. So big pickup right there for Philly's offense. Now 1st and 10. Here we go. We have a wide open fumble. Couldn't get the play off in time. The fumble's picked up by the Chargers. That's going to be a turnover on that fumble right there by Richardson. 1st and 10 now for the Chargers offense. Trying to get something to stop here. Pass rush. We get a hit on Jameis, but before he gets the throw off. Minute left here in the quarter. Famous Jameis jump throw. Who are you throwing that to? Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. He's at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5, and Johnson running on the goal line steps into the end zone for a pick 6. CJGJ with the pick 6 right there for Philly. You love to see that one right there. 2nd and 10 now for Philly's offense coming into the final minutes right there. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. We're going to get a timeout right there. So here we go. Field goal opportunity for Jake the Snake. Kick is up, and that kick will be good. So 24-7 going into the half. Philly going to focus a lot more on the run attack. Of course, we got a bunch of touchdowns. We still got to try and get Devontae involved. We still got to try and get him touchdowns, receiving yards. But I think Bijan right now is going to be the running back we lean on. Hand off to Bijan Robinson, who makes a truck. He just runs through everyone. There is no stopping him. First and 10 now after the first down play. Come on, here we go. We have some wide open receivers. That's Devontae Smith taken down at the 7-yard line. 236 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and a pick on the game so far for Anthony Richardson. Second and goal now. Here we go. Richardson throwing. End zone caught. That's going to be Devontae Smith, his 3rd receiving touchdown of the game. Third quarter, 4 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. A.J. Brown, he makes the catch on 2nd and 5. Shrugs off some tackles. First and goal, that's going to be end zone again for Devontae. And Devontae Smith has his 4th receiving touchdown of the game. All right, Devontae. Hey, he said he wanted to be involved in the offense, and involved in the offense he is. 3rd and 3, what are the odds they're going to try and run it with Eckler? They did, and they actually got it this time. Eckler finds a hole, and he gets himself a big gain. 3rd and 3 again, play action. Slant play, of course, because why wouldn't they? Now, 2nd and 2, here we go. Empty backfield. Come on, lock it up. Jameis, jump throw. That's going to be right to Kool-Aid McKinstry right there. Kool-Aid trying to get on the sideline, and he gets tripped up by the offensive tackle right there. Now, Rashawn Slater at the 49-yard line. So 6.5 minutes left right there. Now, Richardson makes a play-action call on 4th and 5. Come on. Underneath throw. That's A.J. Brown, who shrugs off a tackle. Needs 2 defensive backs to take him down. He's too big. You can't take him down. It's going to be a holding. Please, that's on the offense. It's going to be on Kelvin Banks Jr., the rookie. 4th and 15 now. Play action. We're going for it. Throw. That's picked off. Arm punt right there by Richardson down at the 26-yard line. 2nd and 1. 3 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Come on. Let's get the stop. Let's do something. Famous Jameis avoiding tackles. Another interception. CJGJ again in a foot race with Jameis Winston. We have Eckler not far behind us. CJGJ running along the end zone. His 2nd pick 6 of the game. Philadelphia breaks past 40 points in an absolute blowout against the Los Angeles Chargers. One may call this a no contest, as the Chargers offense was held helpless for the entire game. The only point for the Chargers coming off of a first drive pick 6 by Anthony Richardson. Denzel Burke with the only touchdown of the game for the Chargers. I feel like he should get the game ball because he's the only one that showed up this game, it seems like. But taking a look here for the Chargers, not a bad game for them. I mean, it was a pretty bad game for the Chargers. Pretty bad game for the Chargers. I can't even try to say it wasn't. The Chargers, they did not play to the best of their abilities this game. Famous Jameis showing you why he has been run out of multiple teams. Richardson, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks on the game. Bijan went over 100 yards, only 11 carries. Devontae Smith, 4 touchdowns, 140 yards receiving. 2 sacks allowed, 1 by each tackle. Tackles were led by Kaiser White with 11. Tackles for loss, but it was a tie between a couple players. 1 sack on the game by Brian Breezy. CJGJ had 2 picks, and Kool-Aid McKinstry had an interception as well. Elliott was perfect on the game. No punts for Philadelphia. Return-wise, LJ did his thing on both the punt and the kick return fronts. Devontae Smith, after a 4-touchdown, 100-yard receiving game, he gets himself an upgrade right there. Upgrade him into the slot because I know playmaker is the team's scheme fit, but he's just better in the slot. Make him a slot receiver and then work on the scheme fit later. Now after that game, Devontae saying, "Coach, I told you, you get me involved in the offense and I will do what I can do." So Philadelphia came out to a big win on the arm of Anthony Richardson in the hands of Devontae Smith. And because of that, Devontae gets upgraded to an X Factor. Superstar X Factor slot receiver, Devontae Smith. CJGJ, he gets himself a player of the week right there, thanks to the 8 tackles, 2 picks, a forced fumble, and the 2 touchdowns. Coming in this game, it's raining. It's not going to be a good game for passing. What are we going to do here? Of course, why would we pass the ball? We have Bijan Robinson out there. Bijan being one of the best young running backs in the league. We drafted him in the first round for a reason. The dude's a monster. He's a menace to society out there on the field. And he's just absolutely, the bulldozer of a player that any team could want. He comes out there and he does what he has to do. He lowers the head, he lowers the shoulder, he just runs through people. He subscribes to the Marshawn Lynch thinking, where it's you just run through someone so much during a game that by the third, fourth quarter, that they don't want to be ran through no more, that they're tired, their body hurts, and you're still running through them. Oh boy, you're not going to have a good time right now. But coming into this one, Philadelphia trying to avoid any major injuries, especially that running back room. LJ, Bijan, and Frank are all good to go. Offensive line is going to be the next big room to make sure we're all healthy. And I understand we have plenty of quality backups. But Jurgens right there, dislocated wrist, which is unfortunate. But we do have Garrett Hayes. He's not quite the same overall level as Cam Jurgens, as Beef Jurgens there. But he is still a very quality backup, where there's a bunch of teams that he could probably be starting on at his overall. Just because some teams just don't develop or get good offensive linemen for whatever reason. Big Dickerson right here. There you go. He gets an upgrade, 98 overall with the +2. One morale, one team play. But 97 or 96 power right there for the left guard. Big Dick. You like to see him do his thing. Ronnie Harrison Jr., kind of our forgotten safety back there in the tandem of CJGJ and Ronnie Harrison. The son of Rodney Harrison. Though he comes from a pedigree that Philadelphia loves. Hard-hitting, hard-nosed, knock their teeth out, football. Mason Richmond right here, 76 overall with the +2 team play. Like we said about him earlier, he could have been our starter. He would have, he was the heir apparent, to Lane. But Garrett Hayes right now, he's getting the start this game for the injured Beef Jurgens. You like to see him, 73 overall. Not the highest overall right there, but definitely an overall where you can go out there and you can be productive. And Taylor Chamberlain right here, depth outside linebacker. He had a good week of practice. Throw him in that run stopper position. Just make him hit the lumber. Make him the Ray Lewis on the run. Hard hitting, hard nosed. Knock your lights out. You have one big play a season. That's all we can ask for you. We have a bunch of forgettable plays in the season. It's whatever. But taking on Devontae Smith going into this game last week, we saw that already. 140 yards, 11 catches. Tyler Huntley is the QB here for the Buccaneers. The Bucs, they have that real cheesy offense where Tyler Huntley's going to play out of his mind for no reason, even though he's only like a 70 overall QB. Now imagine if the Bucs could afford a real QB because their cap space is absolutely god-awful. Imagine that. Imagine what a real QB could do in that Bucs offense. We're talking an Anthony Richardson. We're talking a Justin Herbert. We're talking anybody and everybody. You put them down there, and guess what? It is just going to be an absolute, crazy. It's gonna be a crazy game. Absolute insanity going down there if they get a real QB. Which is the one thing we hope they don't ever draft is a legit X Factor superstar QB. Because then it's game over because of how cheesy the Bucs offense is in Madden. It's one of those things where it's like, how do you get good at Madden Sim? Oh, just, use these playbooks. Well, Madden shouldn't be just based off the playbooks. It should be based off of, team overall. If I have a 99 team and the Bucs are, say, like a 75 team, we shouldn't get blown out because of a lesser team because their playbooks are better. 7-3 right now going into the second quarter. Huntley trying his best to will the Buccaneers to a victory. It's 7-6 right now. Philly, they get a field goal right there, make it 10-6 in the game. They have that 4-point lead right there. There's a touchdown. That's going to be 17-6. They're pulling ahead right now, 11-point lead. 24-6, couple quick touchdowns. 24-13, still an 11-point lead for Philadelphia going into the fourth quarter. So right now, we're just trying to kill the clock out, 27-13, 27-20. They brought it within a touchdown right there. So if Philly scores here at all, field goal, touchdown, anything, they're going to get the victory, which is what we got. We get the victory right now. Of course, the Buccaneers, they're upset. They don't know what happened. They don't know how they lost. They had the superior playbook. But 30-20, we get the field goal to end the game right there. And, Goddard, the rest of this Phillies offense, they're congratulating their opponents on the field right there. Because, hey, it was a good game nonetheless. They're in the rain. This is something the Buccaneers know how to do. They play in Tampa. It rains every other day down there in Florida. So playing in the rain is not something that they're unaccustomed to. But for Philadelphia, Richardson, 2 touchdowns, 286 yards. Bijan had 100 yards and a touchdown on the ground. Good for him. Richardson had a couple yards too. Receiving-wise, Devontae Smith had 112 yards, 98 from CD. Both of them had touchdowns receiving. Good for both of those receivers right there. Blocking-wise, there were 4 sacks allowed, 2 by Banks, 1 by Bijan, and 1 by Malata. No pancakes, of course. Defensively, the team was tied with Kaiser and CJGJ with 10, so good for them. There was only 2 tackles for loss, 1 by Jamori. There was 4 sacks, 2 from Brian, 1 from Tremaine Edmonds, 1 from Reddick, 1 pick from Kaiser White, the linebacker. Kicking-wise, Elliott was perfect on the day. There was some punts on the day, 3 for 182. LJ didn't really have much in the return game, only 14 total yards, but still, it is what it is. Coming out of this game, Philadelphia, they wanted, 150 yards rushing. Unfortunately, they did not get that 150 yards rushing, but the better thing is they won the game. And at the end of the day, that is all that should matter, is Philly won the game. They won their match. Until next time, YouTube, though, peace out, rock on, stay super classy. Catch our next episode of our Eagles franchise mode here on YouTube.